Howdy, howdy. I haven't posted in a while, but here I am. This video is being filmed in the spare room in my apartment. My housemate recently moved out. He was in here for 2 years. And there's a bit of a time between him moving out and my partner moving in. So I have this empty room, and while I'm in the apartment, it's just been catching my attention. This empty room, because over the last 5 years since I've lived here, I've had a few different people live in this room. And I've really been reflecting on that and how much has changed over the years, how much I've changed, but in the same time, this just empty room is really serving as a type of metaphor for, I think, the way life works and the way we have this kind of inherent capacity. For example, I couldn't have my old housemate, who was amazing, and my partner here at the same time. There just isn't room. And him moving out has then created this opportunity for her to move in, and for my life and relationship to enter into a new phase, which is exciting. But it's made me think about how in other areas of my life there is room, there's this inherent capacity, and while we might want so much more, so many things at one given time, we may have this unlimited desire. There just simply isn't room, and sacrifices have to be made to pursue certain things, or sometimes endings are just required to welcome in the new. And with that, it's made me reflect on, life and how things that we might feel are just so inherently day to day and there's no real significance to them at all, there kind of is in the sense that they're eventually coming to an end, that phase, that transition. And that kind of hit me when he moved out. There's this little sense of sadness in that, did I make use of all the time of while we were together, while he lived here? Even things like as day-to-day as your job inherently, or life itself, change is always in motion. And thinking about that, keeping that in mind, I think brings us down to have a more present awareness, be more aware of, I guess, the inherent sacredness of a lot of things. So I think that's what it means to consider rooms, and how on the outside, hold it, it's okay. Hey Viva. How on the outside, gross. On the outside of this apartment, so much has stayed the same to people walking by, but inherently at its core in this room, so much has changed. And while I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about all the people that lived here, the relationships that we had, the dynamic that we had in this very apartment, how that's all changing. I think in the same sense, people might see me, or I might be seeing myself at certain points in my life, but on the inside, just like on the inside of this apartment, so much can change, and that's not always visible, but it's something to think about. Rooms. And with that, I think what I'm going to take into the new year, as this one ends, is just that idea of recognizing my capacity and working with that. And I think a way that I've really already started to put that into action is just after the pandemic. And instead of rushing back to hang out with all the people that I didn't see, I haven't picked up a lot of those relationships because I realized that I just don't have the room. I have limited room, and that if I am going to have like this ongoing large social life, that's going to come with a cost. And one thing that I really want to push is the growth of Boy Under the Bridge, my creativity, getting my counselling practice started. There's a lot to do there. So yeah, I can't have that and this big social life. And as well, I've always loved my physical fitness and pushing myself, but I think that's taken a point where I'm recognizing it does zap a lot of my energy, and that if I'm going to be doing that, then I'm going to need more time to recover, and then I won't have as much to pour into other things. And I think that's one reason why over my time I stepped away from gaming, something I grew up enjoying, but I realized how much room and time that takes. So yeah, I think when we sacrifice, I think the word sacrifice means to make sacred. So by sacrificing and choosing what we make room for, we designate what is important. And soon this room will be filled. Thanks for watching.